Welcome to the channel. Hello. It's a quick channel update. It might not even be anything, but we'll have a look and see. Usually is something. If there isn't, I've got Stockholm syndrome.
Welcome back to Headliners. I'm Leo Kirst. I joined the worst tag team in WWF history, Bruce Schaefer and Paul Cox. Kicking off things in this section.
I think that's going to go. So it's nice to have. I mean, I haven't been burning a log burner as much lately because the weather's been warmer. I suppose that's what happens. Now we're the end of April. So like yesterday it was really warm outside, so I just let I didn't really let the fire go at all. I lit it last night. Kind of means I'm lighting it more, but because I'm letting it go out, which means I'm using more kindling. But I used one fire lighter now, just one little one. It looks like I could have got away with that, but that's the top-down method, more or less. Yeah. Let's go and have a quick look at the channel update. If there is one. If there is. Oh. Let's make it the quickest channel update ever. Um, 4617. Right, so it's 4611. Fuck off. See that other phone? That one. What the hell's going on with it? I got the screen fixed, and I think, to be fair, there's something not right about it. It doesn't seem right. Like it's doing random things. You know, when it's not prompted to. Content. I'm actually starting to get really sort of despondent about everything. I don't know how I got a copyright there. It must have been because I was watching somebody else's video on, one of the commenters. I mean, that's most of the videos from Tuesday's trip to Dunfermline. I tell you, I watched a really good video yesterday. Neil Oliver. It's actually really. I've been thinking about it quite a bit. I'll have a look in a minute though. It was. I need to look at the history. Comments. Was it driver or was it car? I don't know. Sweatbox, we call him in Swansea. This car and prison van at Chunel roundabout. We call him in Swansea. Sweatbox, we call him in Swansea. Right, the van. I get you. But Borodin's Polovtsian dances or Prince Igor. Somebody been on something? Audi TT. Seems a bit mad. Ingolston, Edinburgh. I don't know what that means. We'll just give it that. Right, help for review. I don't know what it is with that one. That video there. It's had so many negative comments. There's something safety issues because there was this fencing thing, and it was before you say why didn't you move it yourself. It was like this. It was trapped, kind of like on a tree or something. It was solid, like it'd been blown over or knocked over, and it was trapped solid because it was still attached. So you couldn't just like lift it up and move it over. That's what a lot of people have said. It's why don't you just fucking move it sort of thing. Pick it up and shift it, then walk the other side of the road because you're the hazard on that side. So why is it when I'm showing a corporation or a company that's failed, right? Because that's their responsibility. They put these things up, right, and they have not worked, right? And yet I'm getting all the abuse about it. I do not understand that. Because you're the hazard on that side. It's really strange, It really is. I'll never figure that one out. Some of them make sense. A lot of videos I do, I understand why people don't. Callie, Taylor. A lot of them I understand why people are pissed off with me. Usually if it's like a driving video or something. But that one I don't. No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. There's it's almost like I'm a grass or something. I don't know what it is. It's like, I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of views and it's still got traction. That's months ago I put that video up. And there's people commenting on it. I probably shouldn't have. I should have just approved that comment actually. It wasn't that abusive really. What's wrong with you? You're too sensitive in the morning. Oh right, it must be, yeah. Right. I did that wrong actually. Oh well, never mind. Never mind. So what it was, how did you get to? You get to YouTube. Is it history? Can you get to see what you've watched? This one, William Kite.
Switch to Chrome to stay in sync across devices, so your tabs go everywhere you go.
And now for something completely different, fellow time travellers. As many of you will, at the moment in quite a big way, it's an individualist would understand that and fight for the right of the person that I disagree with fundamentally also to be able to express what they think and believe. Yeah, and that's an example of an individualist and how they think. Yeah, and so that's absolutely key and at the heart of the English Constitution. It's the people in an equitable society that take part in the formation of the moral character and the laws of their community.
In what way was that high ideal, were those high ideals enshrined in for...
I find that really,
about is a vicious cycle.
it makes a lot of sense
so
to me.
the more you give your rights away and the more you outsource portions of your life to a government or whatever it may be to take on that, the less latitude you have, because you're not taking responsibility, you're not trustworthy anymore to self-govern, right? So the more that you do that, the more, and this is a law of this is one of the dynamics within natural law, is that the less responsibility that you have and the less trustworthy you are, the more that that space has to then be filled by a government in the form of legislation, which is really order following. That's essentially what it is. If you have a justice system that is largely based on following orders, which is really what legislation is, yeah, it's not really getting to the bottom of your conscience and understanding the context and what we call in Latin mens rea, which is the state of mind of the individual when he supposedly committed that crime. If you're not doing that in a court of conscience, in a trial by jury-like process, and you're simply dishing out punishment on the basis of rather crass, preconceived legislation, that is the sign of a deteriorating society, because it's a society that's not where the individuals within society are no longer able to take personal responsibility for managing themselves. That's a sign of where we're going. Okay.
Deteriorating society. I mean, so basically, kind of what he's saying is, when we're talking about Scotland, for example, we've got the hate crime laws and we've got 20 miles per hour zones. I know we've got that in other places as well, but we've got clean air zones, so you can't use your car, so you've got to do 20 miles per hour. I mean, that is just insane. So this is happening in Falkirk now. The Falkirk district's implementing 20 miles per hour zones in Airth Parish. So there's some old guy there that I know him, right? I don't really know him that well, but I just think he's finished. I think that he's if he's 80 odd or something, right, and he's voting for that. He's sitting there on his pension. He doesn't understand why 20 miles per hour limit is wrong. He doesn't conceptually understand it from the even very basics, and it's a sign of keeping everybody safe, so if you're that safe, you might as well be in prison. We should all be in prison. We can't go anywhere, we can't go over 20 miles per hour, we can't go in our cars, we can't cause any pollution, we've got to just stay at home with the doors locked, safe. And that's what that is. So this guy that's implementing or voted for this 20 miles per hour zones, which is what they are in Airth, I think is badly mistaken, and that is a sign of the control that they're trying to put on us from overall the legislation and everything like that. It's not good. You've got to think about young men. If we don't have young men, we won't have young women. So we won't have humanity. So young men need to get in their cars and go out and do stuff in the world. If we're restricting young men, so they can't drive their cars, we're not allowed to give them a license. There's people that say these things. They are so badly wrong. It's unbelievable how I can stress how wrong they are to restrict young men like that. Of course there's going to be danger. Of course people are going to get killed. That is humanity. There is risk. You cannot totally prevent death or risk. There has to be risk, and there is risk. But what you're doing, you're just sort of killing humanity. That the 20 miles per hour zone is just a example of it. It's not the biggest problem that we face, but it's an example of the stupidity that the local governments, and that's what he's saying. He never mentioned 20 miles per hour zones, but I am. He's saying that as a sign of a diminishing society. So we need to take responsibility and stop being fannies and stop this shit. And I think there is a blowback or whatever, resistance to it. So I think that if you could watch that video, that would be good. William, was it Whittle? Where did that? Was it Whittle? Yeah, William Kite. Well, Neil Oliver interviews William Kite. Right, so so thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. We don't need all that stupid legislation. We don't need all that shite. We don't need tyranny from these. And that's what, one of the things he was saying is quite obvious. Is the people that are pushing that stuff in the government are useless fuckers. You know, like Patrick Harvey, Nicola Sturgeon, Keir Starmer, Drakeford. They're incompetent fools, and they can't get proper jobs. That's why they're politicians. Why people vote for them is beyond me. Really, is beyond me. It's just a gravy train. Money making gravy train that they're on. They're not doing anything. They go about restricting this, restricting that, bringing this in, bringing that in, spending billions and millions on our roads, turning them into bike lanes. Crazy, crazy shit. And we're letting them away with it. Oh, brilliant, the telly's went off again. Everyone, it's the skybox.
The person then take the Metropolitan Police and the Mayor of London to the account, adding, please ensure all children are safe. Of course it's safe, you wally. They want the police to go around and arrest a child for doing an art project. Why is it an art project? It's madness.
That's the example of it there. Sadiq Khan. Ban the hijab sign. Yeah, well, I was at college. I did some stuff on the hijab. It's very dangerous. You don't want to be doing that. You know, if you say anything about hijab or Islam, I did that, and the lecturer was really freaking out. Understandably. But you'd think in a free country you'd be able to do that, but you can't really. You can't. And I did that. I've still got it. It's quite a weird bit of art, actually. It's a no-go area. You can't really go there. You're not allowed to do art. You're not allowed to criticise Islam, basically. So that's another sign of how our societies, when they're allowing that. Tommy Robinson got, I don't know what happened, but he didn't get. He got pepper sprayed in London at March. But he was in a cafe, actually, by the police, and he was facing jail and everything. But the case collapsed. You know, you should be able to criticise religion, but we can't, can we? So thanks for watching. Bye. Please like, share and subscribe.